Go ahead.
Well, certain piano keys are different colors. It's not like I actually see this E note right here as being a yellow. It's that I know it's yellow. It's not the sound is yellow, it's just that I know the key is yellow when I play it. So, for example, 8 is like a raspberry type red. So kind of like a little tint of like deep purple and like a red color.
Okay.
B is kind of like a faded brownish color.
Okay.
C is like just a normal orangish, I guess, brown color.
Okay.
D is just orange. E is sort of a buttery yellow. F is kind of any shade of green that I want it to be in the moment. It depends on the song I'm playing.
Okay.
G is any shade of blue. It depends on the song I'm playing. And then we get back to A, which is that raspberry red color.
That's so cool. That's really cool. Now, are all of, like, say, all of the A keys, they're all the same?
Yeah,
They all have the same kind of color?
All these A keys. They're all that.
Interesting. That's really cool. I had no idea that your keys were colors, and I think that's wonderful.
But the thing is, the higher you get,
Mm-hmm.
it's the exact same color, but I kind of envision just like a flat screen that takes up kind of like my whole vision.
Okay.
Like just takes up everything in front of my face.
Okay.
But there's kind of more, like shine in it as I go upward.
Okay.
So for example, this A note would be really shiny.
Interesting.
If it took up all of my vision,
Uh-huh.
whereas this would just be the color.
Okay, so it'd be more flat, more
Yeah.
like a flat, plain color.
Yeah, and then this would kind of get a bit of a sparkle into it.
Okay.
This would get a little bit more shiny. This is where it starts to get like way more shiny.
Okay.
Then it starts to just like reflect light basically.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's just absolutely extremely extraordinarily shiny.
Wow.
And then it's just kind of blinding.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So they actually increase in like sheen
Basically.
as they get higher, as the notes get higher. And it's the same for all of the different, like for C, D,
Yeah.
do all of those also increase in sheen as they get higher?
Yeah. Mostly I would say definitely G, F, maybe not so much.
Okay.
Because it's more of a green and it's kind of hard to add sparkle to green in your mind.
Okay.
Or vision to green unless you're having some sort of weird party hat on.
So when you're playing a song, are you just being like inundated with like visions of color as you play?
Yeah, basically. For example, whenever I play, let's say, like Norwegian Wood, for example,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see bursts. Like I don't actually see them, but I know they're there.
Okay.
Kind of as if, you know how like blind people that are really good at echolocation know where things are,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't see them? That's kind of how it works for me. I hear it and I know it's there, but then it gets a lot more complicated when you add in the black keys, because as far as I know, the black keys are just the color black.
Okay, so they don't have color the way that the
Yeah.
white keys have. Okay.
And if they do have color, I gotta say it's a darker color
Okay.
of what, like F sharp right here would be a different, like would be a darker version of F. Which would be
Okay.
kind of like just a way darker green. Like if I'm playing it down here
Mm-hmm.
and it's more of a dark green,
Mm-hmm.
and you do this, it just gets so much darker.
Okay.
The green gets like really dark. For example, like for some reason, even though this is actually closer to the top of the piano than this note is,
Mm-hmm.
this seems much darker and lower sounding than this does for me.
Okay.
I just feel like all of the black keys. And for example, this sounds higher than this
Okay.
for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So this note seems higher than this note, even though this note's actually lower than that note.
Interesting.
So basically it's just an inner working. It's just like opposites, basically.
Okay. I have another question. It just came to me now because our piano is slightly out of tune. It's due to be tuned in about a week and a half or so, 2 Saturdays from now. Do the colors change at all as the piano gets out of tune?
Not at all.
No, they just stay exactly the same?
I know how they're supposed to sound, and that's all I hear when I play the piano.
So even if the piano's out of tune, you hear the piano the way that it should be?
Yeah, I hear the piano the way that it should be, but if a piano is extremely out of tune, for some reason my mind translates it being extremely out of tune to being more of a beautiful sounding. I don't know, but that's
Because
the
it's
way
a little
that
off?
like just the way that it vibrates
Mm-hmm.
is just different from the way that a normal piano makes it sounds.
Like an in-tune piano?
So basically, the piano at Lori and Mark's, don't know if they've gotten it tuned.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I play that piano, it just sounds so much better than this piano in my head.
Oh, because their piano has generally been out of tune when
It's always out of tune. It is always getting
Sorry,
more,
Lori and Mark.
Yeah, it's always getting more out of tune.
Okay.
But it just keeps getting like better, I guess.
Okay.
So
That's
don't tune your
interesting.
piano. I'm the only one that plays it. Don't tune the piano.
That's interesting that, like, you know, as it gets more out of tune, what is it about it? Just that it sounds maybe more...
It sounds more like a grand piano. in
Oh,
my
okay.
opinion.
Oh,
Like
okay.
an upright piano sounds more like a grand piano when it's out of tune.
Interesting.
It
So maybe it
sounds-
maybe has something to do with the resonance in it, like
Yeah,
the
it
way...
sounds more like a string, basically. Like
Okay.
a normal grand piano would sound. It sounds more like a string and a note are being played at the exact same time.
Okay.
Whereas this, it's only a note being played.
So, in your experience, you've played a baby grand Steinway a handful of times, and would you say that an out of tune upright piano sounds more like an in tune Steinway?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And obviously there is a difference there. When you have an out of tune piano, it's out of tune, and the Steinway that you played was definitely very tuned. So there must be something to, I don't know if it's maybe the reverberation or something that you're drawing a connection where you're thinking like this out of tune upright somehow feels or sounds. You're drawing some kind of like a similarity, like a conclusion there, where you're like connecting those two things to each other, even though one's out of tune and one's in tune. When you were playing the Steinway, did you see colors then too?
I was probably more focused. There was a crowd in front of me.
Oh, so yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
I was like, don't make a mistake, Nathan. Don't make a mistake, Nathan. Don't make a mistake, Nathan. Everybody was like watching me.
Okay, so
And,
you
like, when
probably
I-
weren't really thinking
yeah,
about
I
the
wasn't-
colors
yeah,
or paying
I
attention.
was more thinking, don't make a mistake.
I have one more question for you because the video is getting long. We're at almost 8 minutes here, but one more question. Since the very beginning, you've been playing piano for 4 years. Have you always associated color with the keys since the very beginning?
No, I haven't.
When would you say that started for you?
I don't remember, but I'm guessing about maybe a year into it, maybe 2
Maybe
years.
a year into it, so maybe when you were like 7,
Or
it
maybe
started,
when I was 8.
or maybe when you were 8. So you don't have like a distinct memory of when it started. It started at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for example, when I play Norwegian Wood, the main chord is a D chord.
Okay.
Now I think of this song as being a orange song
Okay.
because
Because it starts
the
on a D.
D is the chord, and that just sounds like orange to me.
Okay.
So even despite any note that I'm playing, it's for some reason when I play, this just doesn't sound raspberry red anymore.
Okay.
Instead, this sounds brown as well.
Okay.
I mean, this sounds orange as well. And every other note that I play while I'm playing that song has its own version of a brown note, basically.
Okay.
So then the orange note, so basically the whole song then turns orange. And all of the notes that I play turn orange.
So it's an orange song,
So it's an orange song.
even though it incorporates all of the different color keys that you see or you envision or feel.
For example, when I play While My Guitar Gently Weeps, the entire song's blue.
Okay.
Because it's a D minor, and D is blue.
Okay.
I mean, it's a sad song,
So I guess it's kind of fitting that it's blue.
yeah, and G just by itself sounds sad.
Okay.
um,
Interesting.
so, for example, when I start playing, has been orange.
Okay, now what about while my guitar? The whole experience then is
It's
blue.
It's like a dark blue. So the thing is, when I play certain chords in a song,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a blue tinted version of like the chord that I'm playing. So for example, when I switch to this chord and while my guitar gently weeps,
Mm-hmm.
it's like because this is an F
Mm-hmm.
note right here, it turns into a bluish green.
Okay.
And when I play this note, this is an E, so it turns into a bluish yellow.
Okay.
But not so much that it still leaves the category of what I would call blue.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, basically then the whole song has different shades of the color blue that always involve other notes.
Now, Spanish Tune is a song that you wrote. What color is Spanish Tune?
It's reddish orange.
Reddish orange.
Thing is, first of all, actually, I don't remember what I said C was. Forgot it if I said it was red.
Well, what is it to you?
I mean, it's kind of red. No matter what I said at the beginning of the video, I probably was thinking about it too much. But
Okay.
usually, I would say it's red, especially in the minor chord.
Mm-hmm.
So the C minor chord is definitely a red chord.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like raspberry, even though it has nothing to do with the A note.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look, it doesn't even touch the A note. This is the A note.
Okay.
But that sounds raspberry red to me.
Okay.
Then this has nothing to do with the B note,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a faded brown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that has something to do with it. It's all over. It's the G chord.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a blue.
Okay.
So, but they're all different versions of the same color red.
Interesting. Okay.
So if I was playing a C note, or while I'm playing this G, it's a reddish blue. While I'm playing this A chord, it's a raspberry red plus red.
So is it like when you say something like reddish blue, it's not purple.
It's not purple.
It's like
just-
two
it's
distinct
red.
colors kind of coinciding with each other?
Yeah, it's not like it's taking up. If it was taking up my vision, it wouldn't take up my vision. One side's blue, one side's red, and they meet abruptly in the center. It's reddish blue.
Okay.
Like there's a difference, in my opinion, between reddish blue and purple.
Interesting.
Like if
okay.
you've ever mixed like pencils,
Mm-hmm.
if you've lightly sketched like blue and then you've lightly sketched red to the point where it doesn't become purple, but you can still call it reddish blue.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
This is really fascinating. Well, thank you for sharing this. This is a really cool learning experience for me, and I think for other people too, just to kind of, hear about this very different perspective on the mixture of sound, color, color and numbers, color and objects. I know you mentioned like days of the week, months of the year. All of these things have colors, and you even mentioned they can have genders as well for you. So this is fascinating. Thank you for sharing this. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.